Hello everybody, this is non-Newtonian flying, and I'm actually recording my voice for the first time because I feel like I need to explain how to fly this VTOL aircraft, the MV-22B Osprey by Miltech Simulations. Overall, it's a very simple plane to fly and to start up, but it can be a bit confusing at first, so hopefully I can share how to start this up. So first, let's choose where to start, and I think I'll go with right here. Start on John Rogers Field, and let's actually land this thing at on a boat. So let's set that as arrival, and then there you go. It's about a 7-minute flight, not that bad. May take a detour or two to showcase the Osprey. And this is the livery I'm going to choose to fly it with. The standard U.S. Air Force livery, the Blackbird. Alrighty, so let's start this flight. Alrighty, let's get a quick inspection of the outside of this aircraft. So this VTOL is currently not native to 2024. It's just been updated to be compatible. So we don't have the features of 2024 that more modern planes developed for it do, like taking off as you can see, taking off the covers for the pitot. I'll show you how to do it on the inside in a moment, but first let's just get a look on the outside. Very nice. Alright, let's get inside. Let's take a look around real quick. Got your displays. You got your clickety-clack buttons. Clickety-click-clack, clack, clack. Got your overhead panel. This is where most of your electricals and lights are handled, as well as the engines. We got the circuit breaker back here. And then let's check behind. There you go. We have all this space. Fortunately, I don't believe there's anything we can do with it at the moment. If I'm wrong, then definitely let me know. But for now, it's just this static kind of look. All right, but you can open the cargo door, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So let's go ahead and start this bad boy up. So this is the part that can get, it's rather simple and it's on the checklist, but let me just show you. So start it up, battery on, APU, run engage. And now, as that's starting to warm up, we need to get our nacelles up to 90 degrees. But before we do that, like I said, let me show you how to take off those covers. So let's go to this panel right here. Let's turn that on to day. Make it a bit brighter. See, night, a little darker, a little brighter. So now let's go ahead and take off the covers. So go click on CDU. Either one of these work, it's fine. And go to the second page where you can see aircraft init. You can choose either of these, or just they're the same. And let's go to menu 3. So menu 3, we have the pitot engine cover. Go ahead and take that off. And then you can see, now they're off. Alrighty. And the chocks are taken off when you take off the parking brake. So no parking brake. And now we have no more chocks. Simple as. Alright, one more thing inside this menu before we change it is, so in the documentation it says that it starts off by default to hard difficulty for the flight reality, but for some reason I've seen that it starts off on easy for me. So I'll just put that back on hard. It's not that hard actually to fly it. It's actually rather gentle. So let's go ahead and take this back off. To go back to the normal mode, just go to EICAS, ICAS. Now let's go ahead and get those nacelles to 90 degrees. So to do that, we need to go to these displays here. And either one of these is fine, but let's do this one, system. Oh, and by the way, you can turn on these as well for Copilot. Let's go ahead and go to system on any of them, system, and then BFWS right here. Now you have these 4 options. Let's go to fold horizon. And it'll start moving it to a 90-degree pitch for the VTOL takeoffs. Now here's a very important tip, as explained in their documentation. If you want to move these engines or nacelles to any other degree, to airplane mode for example, back to where it started off as, we need to enable or keybind cowl flaps 4. So just in your controls, look for cowl flap 4, decrease and increase, and set those to whatever you need, whatever is available. To decrease the cowl flaps, you'll be putting them to a 0-degree angle, and increase cowl flaps will move them back to a 90-degree plus angle. So once that's binded, you should be set to go. Now let's look for, let's see, we've started the system. We can go back and change this to, oh, put the flight ready. No, that's normal. Let's go to nav. Actually, I'm going to put this on PFID, or where is the 3D? Here we go. FLIR gives me kind of a 3D display. Here, I'll put this on nav so I can get the heading. And here will be my artificial horizon. Now, these two technically give me my artificial horizon anyway. But anyway, what else? Oh, let's close this. Ooh, no. Let's open the cargo door. So your buttons are right here. You have ramp door, door mode, and side door. Side door will just open, as the name implies, the side door, which is right here. Yeah, very simple. And then the cargo door, or ramp door. There we go. Turn around. How it's look from the inside. Very nice. You can technically do it during flight, but you need to disable aircraft stress damage and destruction damage, because if you do, you may just randomly crash during flight. So it says that in the documentation as well, to disable crash damage. So let's go ahead and close those two again. What's this? Auto. Oh. You can do manual or auto. Manual is normally the go-to. So close and close. There we go. They're both closing up. All right, let's close the door here. And let's get started. So to start the rotors here, let's start warming up the engines. So these 2 sticks are basically it. That's all there is. So let's start engine 1, put it to start mode. Engine 2, start mode. And then we'll monitor them here. We want to get the NGs to 68 each. 68 is when we can start setting it to fly mode. Fortunately, there's no way to rush it. You have to let it get to 68. If you try doing it before, you may flood it. And if you flood it, you'll have to restart. That's what I've found, at least. All right, 68, 68. Set them both to fly. Now you can see 70, 70, around 200, 188. And here we can see the angle of our nacelles. Now if I were to play with my cowl flaps, if I were to increase it, you can see it goes to 97. If I decrease it, put it back to 90, and there you go. That's how it looks on here. Let me increase it again. Yep. And decrease. There you go. When you're shutting down, you'll want to keep it to 90. Now there are two ways we can take off with this thing. We can take off in VTOL mode, just go straight up in the air, or we can take off like a normal plane. So let's go ahead and take off like a normal plane. Let's take off VTOL mode first. So to get off the ground in VTOL mode, let's take off the parking brake. And now let's throttle up to about 75%. There we go. And we're flying. Move it to the front and we can take off in normal mode or plane mode. So let's gently taxi our way. Alright. Just gonna, and the plane is, the scheme of this thing does not require you to have like a helicopter, cyclic or any of that. It flies like any other GA craft scheme would. You know, you have your ailerons and your rudders and your pitch up, pitch down, all that. Alright, so to descend gently, let's put it to about 65. Yep, and you can see we're starting to slowly descend. That's sink rate. Put to 68, 68, 67, 68, around that. Alright. Ooh, come on. Alright, 65, just to drop down. And there we go. A bit hard, but we learn. Now, to take off in plane mode, let's drop the nacelles down to about 60 degrees. Not 60, it's too much. Let's see. Yeah. 67, that's fine. 65. There you go. Let's do 65. Been in a danger zone, but that's fine. So now, yep. You can see if I let go of the brakes, it'll start pushing us slowly. And we can throttle up a bit. And we take off. Well, throttle percent, that's 91% throttle. Now you don't want to have your nacelles at full 0 degrees when you're on the ground. So now that we're high enough, let's go ahead and bring them to 0 degrees. There you go. 0 degrees, and now we're on a plane. Bring the gears up. Very nice. Now let's start heading towards the little boat. Another note, you don't want to stress this to 100%. You want to keep it to at least an NG of 97, 98%. If you go to 100 or you keep it there for long enough, the engines will die. It's a beautiful day over Honolulu, and we thank you for flying a non-Newtonian flight. Now this panel here is our autopilot. You can change your headings. Where is it? You can hold right here. See heading, speed, altitude. This is where you can set that right here. So it has that capability, but I'm not going to do it for this showcase because I honestly like flying this thing manual. This thing is very smooth manual. Let's see what it looks like in night mode. Get it a bit dark. There we go. Let's start turning on the lights. So we have our cabin light, instrument lights. What else? Night mode. We can start changing the instruments. So, yeah, it's not bad. And then for external lights, we can go down here to the panel, go to lights, and then we have master control, navigation, strobe, tail lights. We have all assortments. See if we can see it on the outside. Yep. There we go. There we go. Found it. It was in menu 2 of external lights. That looks pretty freaking awesome. Seems like you can only see it from the front. Oh. You can switch it front and back. Put this back to daytime. You can leave the lights on. It's all good. Put this back to ECIS. There we go. Make sure my... Alright. Moved it a bit. Yeah, the throttles differ from left and right. It can actually mess you up a bit. Now, oh, I can even see it during the daytime. That's cool. So I need to start descending. So let's go ahead and drop the thrust. Start going down. We're at about 20,000 feet. And we are going to start descending real fast. Let's switch to the co-pilot seat. Oh yeah. It's fun to get a different perspective every now and then. Yeah, this descent's gonna take some time, so let's start some music. Alright, I hope you enjoyed non-Newtonian radio coming to you straight from Hawaii. Now don't be alarmed from that sinking sound, we're just slowly plummeting to the ground at a very nominal speed. It's all by design, we're going to land safely and slowly. Anything below 75 you start slowly sinking. So let's put it down to 70. Give ourselves some forward thrust so that we can descend a bit easier.
Sink rate, sink rate, sink rate, sink rate, sink rate. Sink rate, sink rate. Sink rate, sink rate, sink rate, sink rate, sink rate.
Okay. Be gentle with this. It's a very small platform.
Sink rate.
Oof. Almost centered. But we landed. Alright. Thrust down. Parking brake on. Now let's start shutting down the engines. Alright. We'll switch back to pilot. And once the engines are off, you can hit rotor brake on. Now just gotta wait for those to shut down. There you go. Quick and easy. Now we're going to start folding the wings, and that's going to be beautiful. So system, BFWS. Let's lock the rotors. And there we go. They're going to get into position, and then they're going to fold in. There you go. And once they are locked in, we can go ahead and stow the plane. And there you go. Now we can begin shutdown. One thing I did wrong was during flight you have to actually turn off the APU. And then when you're landing, well, once you've landed, you can turn it back on to run engage. But now that I no longer need any of that, just turn that off. Battery off. Oh, actually, I forgot. Let's in it. Menu 3. Just put the engine covers back on. There you go.